Oh, okay. That would explain that. Anyway, here we are. Welcome, Internet, to the Week 6 stream of the OKLCS. We will be getting into Champion Select just in a few seconds here. We will be playing TRZ versus, Diamond Win for the first game here of the Week 6 of the OKLCS. This game being a very important one. If TRZ win, that forces Diamond Win into a tiebreaker match versus whoever loses between the Team Landsnake and Retribution game later on tonight. Whereas if Diamond win, then they are guaranteed a spot into the finals, going in for the Diamond Capped.
Alright, you can tell these guys that you're ready.
I did tell them.
Oh, good.
So we'll go ahead and jump right into that one. TRZ having first pick, they are going to ban away Ezreal from Kitachi, the AD carry of Diamond Win.
You're good. Just moving it forward slightly.
Zach banned away from likely the jungler of TRZ. Rek'Sai going to be taken away on the other side. We've seen these junglers sort of become more the scene ever since that nerf to Gragas' ultimate, where it has the automatic flat delay. Rek'Sai receiving nerfs of her own, though. Nerfs to her overall tankiness in both early and late game. Gangplank going to be taken away from TRZ. Clutch on the side, in the top lane. Generally a strong champion. His name used to be the Barrel Run, so we might see some justification for that, or rather we won't because it's banned away. Victor going to be taken away from Intense here. Intense been playing very well on these very caster-oriented mid. Okay. So that's going to be a thing.
It seems like the client must have crashed from someone during Champion Select. That actually tends to happen in a lot of these.
Client went full Rito. Not to say anything bad about Rito, but fix your shit.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like a lot of the problems that have been happening with the client lately are because they're starting to try to move towards fixing this other client up.
Yeah, setting up for the new client update.
Yeah, and they probably put then a little bit less priority.
So we will be getting into Champion Select one more time.
Whoops.
Gonna be playing with the same band, same picks up until that DC happened.
Yep. Alright, so seeing the same bands, moving through.
So we are going to see the same bands. Like we were saying, Zach is going to be moving up in priority among junglers because of the nerfs to Rek'Sai, to Gragas. I wonder, what do you think else is going to be moving up in terms of priority for the jungle at the very least?
Are we talking about, like, just high tier?
High tier, totally in general.
I think Jarvan might. I know that he's been coming a long way as a top laner, but that'll probably equal him coming a long way as a jungler as well.
Yeah. Additionally, like, he's been getting small buffs as the patches keep on rolling out. Alright, so Graves is going to be the first pick over on the side of TRZ. Might be the jungle pick. More than likely is going to be the jungle pick. Graves jungle clears very quickly. Has a very farm-oriented style and just wants to come out of the jungle very late. Or not very late, but later on.
It could potentially be
a top lane pick.
Well, maybe a top lane pick, but something that they might have picked to take away from the Unreal Obama.
Oh, that's true.
Because the Unreal Obama, I think he's primarily played Zac, Rek'Sai, and Graves in these OKLCS games.
Yeah.
And now they banned Zac. We saw Zac and Rek'Sai get banned away, and then TRZ picked Graves. So we're gonna see what he's gonna pick instead of his usual one of his usual three. It looks like right now he's gonna be hovering Lee Sin.
Yeah, we'll see. Probably the Hecarim moving up in priority, but it is gonna be Lee Sin over on the side of the Unreal Obama. My prediction is that we'll see Evelyn move up in priority, I think, actually.
Yeah, I have seen Evelyn in some ranked games lately done pretty well.
She just got a small buff to her ultimate.
Yeah.
She's been sort of quietly hanging out in the jungle.
Yeah. She still has a relatively difficult clear and a relatively difficult, early couple levels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you have to work around, but once you do, the clear starts to get very fast and the ganks are crazy diddly.
The amount of pressure you exert on the map just by being Evelynn also forces the enemy to play, enemy laners to play significantly more passively, because they just can't know where you are.
Yeah, if an Evelynn comes to your lane and clears the pink ward, you don't know if she's still there. She could still, even if you go put a regular ward there, she could be hanging out. You have to...
All right.
Keep 2 of those bad boys.
Bottom lane going to be locked in for TRZ, Lucian and Braum.
It's a good synergy between AD carry and support.
Light Slinger passive.
Yeah. Quick stuns.
For concussive blows. What are we going to see? Oh, this would be very interesting. I didn't like Kindred AD carry when she was good. And, so, it's probably not going to be. I think he's just trolling us. Yeah. He's going to mouse over Jhin, actually.
As far as Kindred goes as a champion, I've seen her a few more games recently, probably with some of the nerfs to some other junglers. She has, I think, just under or close to a 50% win rate, and they're planning some small buffs for her on the PBE too.
Definitely needed. Kitachi actually going to switch over to Twitch at the last second. So, he will be coming out of invisibility. Wow! The Yasuo insta-lock from TRZ clutch.
Definitely top laner.
Yeah, definitely a top laner. If it was a mid laner, Leroy would have just locked it in for himself.
Yep.
And that's actually a pretty significant... It's a lane counter to Gnar for OTC. Yeah. Additionally, you can block off a lot of the damage coming out of the Twitch in teamfights if you save your wind wall.
Yeah, good use of the wind wall could really dictate how a lot of these team fights go.
Yeah, and Leroy actually going to pick himself up a Rise.
Actually, I just realized that Kitachi picking Twitch, it's ended up being not the best pick because they picked up, on the side of TRZ, both of the walls.
Two blocks.
Having a wind wall in the to cover for the backline and a Braum shield in the front, that Twitch is going to have a hard time hitting the backline with his extended range.
Well, Intense is going to be mousing over the LeBlanc here. I actually don't imagine that doing super well, at least in lane against Rise, just because he can root her directly out of Distortion. We'll have to see if Intense is quick enough on his fingers to make use of that champion against Rise. If he does lock it in, the timer's counting down. No, he's going to swap over to Vigar. Okay, here.
Yeah, a really quick... if he had picked the LeBlanc, a really quick WEQ would mean Rise would get a pretty good chunk of damage.
Yeah.
He would get the Thunderlords, he would get the CC off, and he would get the enhanced Q off.
Well, assuming you take the Thunderlords. Some Rise might go Storm Raiders.
But, if you do take the Thunderlords, you get off your little combo with the Thunderlords proc, and then you get a shield and speed boost as you walk away. Block some detonation damage on those LeBlanc Qs, I think it is.
It's kind of scary, though, playing up against Taric and Twitch. The Twitch going to have the invulnerability to just unload on your team there.
Yeah, both of these. I mean, Gnar and Vigar, there's actually some pretty decent synergy there. Because
if you miss the wall, you just throw them into Event Horizon instead.
Exactly. Even if you don't have a wall nearby, you can fling the enemy team right into Event Horizon.
Yeah, okay. So this game is happening live. We are seeing Champion Select live. We are going to unfortunately be on a 3-minute delay going into the game, which will start just about now.
Yeah. And we can use this time to talk a little bit more about the tiebreakers and whatnot.
Okay, so as we said before, this game is fairly important in determining Diamond Win's fate. Unfortunately, TRZ, with their 1-4 record, have no chance of making it into the quote-unquote playoffs, which is simply a best-of series versus the top 2 teams in each league. If Diamond win, they are guaranteed their spot in the finals. However, if they lose, they are guaranteed a tiebreaker against the loser of Team Landsnake versus Retribution later on tonight, the winner of which will also be guaranteed a spot in the finals.
And then that's the same situation for the Gold Cap.
Yep.
There is, I think it's the Road Crew, they're 1-4, and every other team is 3-2. And there are 2 3-2 teams playing. The winner moves on.
The Road Crew 1-4 are no longer eligible to make playoffs. They are playing against Oklahoma Gold Rush this week. Oklahoma Gold Rush if they win, will be guaranteed a spot in the finals. If they lose, they at least get to play a tiebreaker against the loser of Jubermensch versus Venom.
Yes, and those games will also be played live later tonight.
Yep.
We're going to be doing this game starting now. When this one ends, we'll be playing the
replay.
The replay of the Landsneck versus Retribution game, and then we'll be taking a short break while the players get ready, and then we'll be showing the live game between the Ogres and TRC, followed up by the last game, which will happen right after that one ends. The first one starting.
No. The first game will be Jubermensch versus Venom, and then
yes, that's my bad. Yep.
Oklahoma Gold Rush
versus
the
what
Red
I said.
Crew.
Exactly. My bad.
Wonder how these matchups are gonna go. Obviously, Yasuo being in general considered the counter to Gnar, because you Windwall his boomerang, and it goes on a large cooldown because he can't pick it up because it's gone.
In the very, very early game, before Gnar gets a lot of points in that boomerang, his boomerang's cooldown is almost as long as Yasuo's Windwall. So blocking 1 Q means Gnar is out one of his bread and butter abilities for the duration of your Windwall cooldown, essentially.
Yeah, and additionally, Yasuo can pretty easily get onto Gnar and abuse his squishiness in the early to mid game.
Yeah.
Especially while in mini Gnar form. However, Yasuo did receive some nerfs this patch.
To the Frozen Mallet builds, yeah.
To the tank builds, actually, more so. Yeah. You can still build the Frozen Mallet with the Phantom Dancer Eye Edge. Frozen Mallet itself was nerfed.
Yeah, well, it's the whole thing is like he could go Triforce Frozen Mallet, but now he doesn't get any armor penetration from his ultimate without a crit.
Critical.
So until you get 100% crit, that's a pretty big nerf to the ultimate.
Yep.
So the way that plays out is if you do rush a Frozen Mallet, your ultimate's going to be weak until you finish 3 fairly expensive items.
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking that he'll probably go the Frozen Mallet with Phantom Dancer Eye Edge build this game. But again, you are losing out on a lot of the armor pen you get if you don't have a 100% crit chance.
We gotta click these off. Go to this screen. Which the screen is just black. That's supposed to... Okay,
yep.
there it goes.
No, we're good. We're good.
No, I mean, it was black. It was display capture, but it was black. Here we go.
All right, so we're finally getting into loading screen here.
I have heard that... Sorry, I just looked at the chat. I have heard that Shaco has been somebody who's been performing well in both low and high elos in Korea lately.
Oh, really?
Just as a more popular pick.
I can't imagine it actually gets picked in competitive play.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it would really get picked in competitive play, but it's something that's been more popular in Korea with, some junglers get nerfed and then things are kind of going to shuffle around for a little while people want to figure out what is good.
All right, so here we are. We're immediately going to jump into a pause. Somebody apparently going to be having issues here. Okay, apparently one of the top laners went to the restroom. That's of course.
They're ready. They're good.
I don't understand how this works. Chat is not ticked on. Do I have to just double click it?
I guess.
All right, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange these in the meantime. Okay, so now we're actually gonna get started. Hopefully there won't be any more delays in this game. So on the side of TRZ, they have picked up their new top laner, TRZ Clutch. We saw him playing last week. Had a little bit of a disappointing performance as Irelia.
Yeah, got counterpicked by a Poppy.
Yeah.
Was able to avoid some of that early Sheen strength that Aurelia first picks up, and then by the time Aurelia had Triforce, already had a completed armor item. Triforce ends up being a lot less effective. And then with the help of some ganks, was able to start snowballing a bit. And then Aurelia couldn't duel.
I mean, that Poppy ended going like 12-2 or something. Yeah, that was insane.
He had like a solid early game, and then he had some ganks, and he just snowballed, and Aurelia couldn't stop him.
Yeah. And also, they are coming in with a new jungler as well, Master of AD Carry, Master of Bacon, and jungler in the form of Arkansia.
Yeah. So what's been happening? They're TRZ's top laner
they just
and junglers
cannot make these. they don't have the most flexible of schedules. They just
with them, like, you know, he got their top laner had a new opportunity, and so he moved himself down to a sub position. He wasn't going to be able to dedicate as much time. The jungler had something similar. The AD carry, a lot of scheduling issues with his work and whatnot, and so they've been going through a lot of transition stuff, and they're really looking towards getting a good lineup and practicing up with a new lineup for Season 2. And so, but this AD carry is one of the potential AD carries they're looking at right now. Yep. And the jungler is a sub-jungler, as the one that I think they're pretty decided on, wasn't able to play for tonight.
On the side of Diamond Wind, they're playing with their full roster. Kaolira, who played top lane for them last week, was originally going to be their starter, but OTC Amlo has just played in so many more games than he has.
Yeah, he actually, after I think... Really early in the season, they moved him
primary
to
starting
position.
So they're playing with very familiar roster here. We'll have to see if that might affect the play. However, in spite of the Yasuo considered the counter to Gnar, in LCK they tried that, and the Gnar solo killed him a few times, actually. Gnar just being so strong. Gnar was nerfed, though, so...
Yeah. Another reason this Yasuo might not go Frozen Mallet is the fact that Frozen Mallet was awesome.
Now, both of these top laners building, or the champion at least building Frozen Mallet, having gotten that build nerfed a little bit. I have to see if Master of Bacon and Oblivious can stand up to this bottom lane veterans hereabouts. OTC goes Mega. He puts down a lot of hurt onto Clutch. He does have the knock-up. We're not going to get to see what happens. Leroy actually aggressing forward onto Intense does quite a bit of damage, about 80% down off of Intense's health bar.
Ryze's early game, if you can't outdamage him, is very good.
Yeah.
It falls off a little bit too. He's so spammy in lane once he hits level 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can just start unloading his EQ.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid his damage, so the only hope you have is to actually just out-trade him.
Exactly. And for champions that are melee or can't really out-trade damage-wise, he's like pretty good.
Intense is taking a lot of damage here. Throws an Event Horizon on himself just to secure his retreat path. Clutch is going to move forward here onto OTC. He's going to hop over, he's going to land the knockup, but not follow that with any more damage. Trading about evenly, Clutch pulling out a little bit ahead there. Katachi's not going to get stunned up by concussive blows here. Clutch is moving forward again for another trade. He does get the knockup. Didn't even pop the flow passive. He's gonna get it now. He uses that to interrupt the boomerang. Oh, the Unreal Obama getting aggressed on by Arkanzia here. He missed his end of the line second proc, but the Unreal Obama has to flash away.
Arkanzia probably thought about chasing a little bit there, but with Tarek coming up, he was smart to back away. Yeah, despite Yasuo being pretty good against Gnar, this is when he has to be a little bit more careful, because this is when Gnar can out-trade him.
When he's Mega.
He's Mega. And this is when
the game.
Yeah.
Doing a good job staying up in CS. He's probably going to pull ahead as this wave comes in. The Dazzle is going to stun up Oblivious, but not a whole lot of follow-up. About the same amount of damage traded back and forth. Just a little bit. A Clutch actually pulling ahead in terms of health, just because of how much he's auto-attacking with that Doran's Blade. Gnar does start the Doran's Blade, but doesn't quite benefit from it as much in terms of lifesteal. Just because, uh-oh, never mind. Here we go. Unreal Obama is... Arkanzia here ganking the bottom lane. Picks up first blood very easily onto Katachi. KS Thresh gonna back away. Not get the concussive blows out.
That's a good gank.
Yeah. Just, pretty easy to set up there, especially with, Oblivious playing that Braum.
Yeah, with
oh, the Unreal Obama wants to make a gank happen in the top lane. He's gonna get knocked up by Clutch here. The Poison actually is going to be popping the Flow Shield, but the Unreal Obama just throws on some Tempest damage and backs away. There's a huge minion wave there, did not want to fight.
Yeah, OTC was definitely pretty low. OTC, I'm low. He was pretty low there, and they had to be careful because the 1v1 for Yasuo and Lee Sin there was a little iffy since Lee Sin had the minion wave, and Gnar was too low to come in too close because he was going to get bursted down. So
overall, not the most opportune gank by the Unreal Obama, just sort of missing out on his timing there. Clutch is going to get stunned up, but he does not have level 6 yet. At least Gnar does not. The concussive blow is not going to pop onto anybody, actually.
Gnar actually did that level 6 for that. I'm surprised he didn't pop the ult.
No, he just hit 6. At the point when Clutch went in, OTC did not have Gnar. It looks like he did use it at some point.
Because he didn't have it. He was level 6.
He wasn't level 6.
Yes,
he was level 5.
I looked. It said it. I was like, he's level 6.
No, he's not.
He was. It's okay. But yeah, so he did ult him. I was like, why didn't he ult him? But I guess once it tabbed down to bot lane, he used it right after. It looks like he didn't take him out. Clearly.
No, Clutch is still sitting at a pretty little amount of... sitting pretty at a decent chunk ahead of OTC.
Yeah, I really want to see what these top laners decide to build, because the nerfs to Frozen Mallet were pretty recent. I haven't seen a lot of Gnar or Yasuo top since then.
Yep. At the Unreal Obama here, they find each other's pink boards. It is going to go down here. And OTC going to go ahead and recall. He did... letting Clutch push the wave into the tower.
Maybe he's just looking for a counter gank. Oh, he's gonna back off, go down to his red buff. Now, when the first dragon of the game is a Ocean Drake, you should probably put a little bit more focus on it, because for laning phase, Ocean Drake is the best dragon. Just like, it just gives you so much sustain. If you get poked, if you are poking, it gives you mana. You know, like...
I don't know. I think Ocean Drake, while it's nice to have in lane, not necessarily something that you really want to put priority on if it means at the cost of... Okay, Arkanzia is gonna get kicked back into the enemy jungle. He flashes over. They actually trade flashes back. Arkanzia going aggressive, using that collateral damage. Oblivious is here though, and the Unreal Obama actually goes down. There's a lot of people here. Katachi's in the back too, but Oblivious on the wrong side of the fight. Katachi almost goes down. Flash form from Oblivious. He gets the heal out. Oblivious is trying to secure something here, but Katachi goes invisible. Dazzle comes out, and Chaos Thresh is going to go down anyways. Leroy did make the follow-up here. And Clutch is actually the one who teleports down, but doesn't get anything for it. OTC now with the advantage in the lane is going to push in that wave. Put some damage down on the tower. He did use his teleport to get back up to the top lane. But it looks like TRZ going to make a move for this Ocean Drake. They do pick up, what is that, 3 kills in favor of 2? Because they had already gotten the first blood.
They only lost 1 there, right? They only lost Oblivious during.
Did they? No. Did they lose?
They only lost Arkanzia because he was... Yeah. Because I think Oblivious had died sooner, or no, did he die during that?
Oblivious had died for first blood. I'm pretty sure that was
so that means that was...
Wow, Leroy actually stealing away the blue buff! Just over the wall! Well, good to deny it away from Intense. Especially to give it onto your Rise at very little cost to yourself. Lets him start stacking up that Tear of the Goddess. He's going to be building towards the Rod of Ages. Also gives the blue buff over to Arkanzia on his own side. Oblivious going to not get stunned up here. He's going to land the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike pulls forward. Katachi throws at the Venom Cast, but it doesn't matter. He just stands behind onto Master of Bacon. This is only going to be the second Rise we've seen in the OKLCS, right? We've seen it once in Gold Cap.
Yeah. Well, you know, TRZ Leroy had 2 of the champions that he played more often than other champions.
Oh, Leroy moving forward here. He just stands his ground through Event Horizon. Collateral damage comes out. He goes in a little too early, but he gets stunned up, and they're going to follow with that ultimate. The Intense actually gets shielded by the Unreal Obama at the last second. He kicks away Leroy, trying to get the escape. Intense moving forward a little bit, and there's the Event Horizon. He's going to kill off Leroy. Very well played by the mid laner of Diamond Win there.
Yeah. But anyway,
also moving forward, Master of Bacon gets stunned up. Oblivious is actually blocking away Katachi, so he can't get any damage out. He knocks him up with a Glacial Fissure. The culling comes forward, but it's going to be negated. Well, he takes out most of the damage beforehand, but the Radiance is going to reduce any damage. Summoner heal comes out, but Katachi's about to get stunned, and Master of Bacon might go down. Master of Bacon actually pulls himself a kill before going down to Chaos Thresh, who is going to give his life against Oblivious here. Maybe Exhaust goes down, the Dazzle stuns him up. The Unreal Obama's here, but Winter's Bite secures that kill. The Unreal Obama wants to get this kill off. Oblivious slashes Mastery, says, I'm not afraid of you.
Anyway, TRZ Leroy, 2 of his main champions, Vladimir and Talia. Vladimir getting some more changes that were maybe nerfs. I don't really know. It was 10% cost down to 8% at the cost of some early game cooldown. Sounds like maybe a nerf.
And then Talia got absolutely gutted.
Yes, Talia got nerfed quite a bit. Q damage no longer dealing bonus damage to minions, harder for her to push waves, and the E significantly less damage at all levels.
And we're not trying to distract you by talking, but there is a pause going on right now. We don't exactly know what the circumstances of that are. We'll go ahead and figure that out for you here. Looks like there's an audio bug on the side of Intense. He's going to go ahead and restart his client.
Yeah, one of those bugs where there's like an ultimate or something that happens, and then the sound effect plays on a loop.
Yep.
Very annoying.
Going to go ahead and pull ourselves back into game just as soon as he can. Alright, they are unpausing the game. We will be getting back into it just right about now. Arkanzia going to take away his Krugs. Now, OTC actually pulling out just a little bit of a gold lead. Or gold, CS lead. Which translates to gold, but,
Ooh.
So Clutch will be going for a Zeal item first off, not wanting to sacrifice the damage with the crits.
Oh, here goes
and OTC goes forward, he misses the wallop. He is not going to get knocked up by that third proc of Steel Tempest, but he has the wave pushing in his favor. Leroy is actually going to get his recall interrupted there. I wonder if Clutch will go for the Phantom Nincer build. It probably will be. It's the duelist-oriented Yasuo build.
Most likely. Especially
the Static Shiv going to be the one.
Top lane.
The Static Shiv is going to be the one that most mid laners use for wave clear. Intense going to get snared, but not quite under tower. Katachi takes a decent chunk back, and he actually uses Ghost forward. Oblivious slows up Intense with that Winter's Bite, and Arkanzia throws down a lot of damage, but not enough to kill off Intense just yet. Event Horizon goes out. Katachi's unloading with Rat-a-tat-tat. Here comes the Unreal Obama, and Intense actually going to get taken out by Leroy off the side, who is moving forward. 1-for-0 in favor of TRZ here. He's throwing out some more damage. Katachi is going to go very low. Leroy just going off on this Rise pick right about now. Doesn't even have his Rod of Ages finished. Imagine when that's fully stacked. And Arkanzia just doing a massive amount of damage with that collateral damage.
I mean, I was wondering a lot about the Yasuo pick in general, just like after the nerfs, because even if you are going to rush 2 crit items,
you're
sacrificing
for a little bit.
A lot of damage, especially if they're building early armor.
He's going to go in on OTC. I'm low. He uses that last breath, but OTC still has Hop available to him. He's just trying to kite back under his tower. Clutch can't really dive here. He's going to get a couple of hyper procs off. Dazzle stuns up Oblivious under the tower. He doesn't have aggro, though. And they're not actually going to pursue that any farther.
See, like, the number of Yasuos I played against, after getting ulted, the autos and the Qs, they did a bit more damage than they were doing to that Nard just then.
Yeah, definitely. He does finish his Phantom Dancer, however. That's 60% crit right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's going to give him a little bit more dueling potential with that passive. Oblivious might find the Unreal Obama in his jungle here. Gonna try and get some vision down.
Oh man, we've got Intense and the Unreal Obama waiting in the bush, just trying
sitting on a pink ward too. They know that he's not gonna know that he's here.
TRZ Leroy looks wary though.
Yeah. Intense is definitely playing more towards that side of the brush than he normally is. It makes Leroy wary of that.
Yeah, you got to try to make it look like nothing's going on.
Just try not to adjust your play too much. Intense, or Katachi pulling ahead in CS about 20 now, even though he is 0-3. And the captain of Diamond Win has been struggling these last few weeks to make an impact for his team. I mean, they've lost their last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean,
after a 3-0 start, he's down to 0-2 in the last 2
right
games.
Here, you should be wary when you see the W that it wasn't on.
On
it wasn't on Katachi for a moment.
That was a little obvious there, that the Unreal Obama. Because there's always that indicator if he's in range. Oh, Wallop is gonna stun up Clutch here. He's gonna land the boulder toss, not a whole lot. Dazzle actually stuns up both of them. Exhaust goes down into Katachi, however. Cosmic Radiance comes out to negate the culling this time. And they do a lot of damage, but not enough to dive. There's a teleport coming in from OTC. I'm not sure why that's happening here.
It's like everybody's
just because
here. There's
everyone else is here. Alright, look like we're gonna have a 5v5. Clutch gets stunned up by that Event Horizon. He takes a lot of damage, and the kick goes out through Clutch. And the Intense goes out. He lands the Primordial Burst, which is not a skill shot. I'm just kidding. He did not land that, just used it. And there's Event Horizon forward. Master of Bacon comes forward. OTC comes in with Mega Gnar. Flashes, gets Nard, both of them back into the wall. Master of Bacon did pick up Chaos Thresh, but now OTC is in the middle here, and Clutch misses that Steel Tempest, and now OTC's like, I can take you now, but he's gonna back away because Arkanzi coming back in. Flash forward from the Unreal Obama. Katachi takes out Clutch, and he moves forward, but does not go for the kill onto Arkanzia. 4 kills to 1 in favor of Diamond Win. Alright, so Diamond Win, off of that, they pick up that tower, which is Tower First Blood, as well as the Ocean Drake. And now TRZ feeling a little bit more pressured after their good early game. Frozen Mallet is picked up for OTC, who is building towards both the Ninja Top. He has already finished the Ninja Top, but he's building towards the Randuins. Gonna make Clutch's life really stink. Reducing the damage of auto attacks, reducing the damage of crits. It's gonna make Clutch's life a little bit harder in terms of dueling. Yeah, considering he's already sort of falling behind, especially as this wave hits the tower, OTC is going to be able to pick up quite a bit, unless he wind walls it. And he's going to get the wall up down. He's moving forward a little aggressively, but he doesn't know Arkanzi's here. He's going to gnar actually both of them into the wall without realizing it. He gets smited, and he's going to get knocked up and pulled in by the last breath. But here's the Unreal Obama. The Oblivious is here as well. He kicks away Arkanzia. The Glacial Fissure comes out. Clutch does not have his ultimate, and Unreal Obama is going to make it out. But OTC got knocked up, and here's the ultimate from Leroy coming in, as bringing in the Master of Bacon as well. The Unreal Obama and Intense do manage to take out 2 of them before anyone goes down. OTC did go down off the side there, but Intense is going to go down to Master of Bacon here. The Unreal Obama trying to run away here, and it's just a 5v5 party everywhere that we go.
Yeah, these teams roaming hard to any fights that start to break out.
The Unreal Obama gonna look to get executed here before Arkanzia picks up any more. He's gonna back away and just get the execute off. Now TRZ with the advantage are gonna be pushing in that top lane.
The only person that didn't come to this fight was Katachi, and he's pushing in the
actually,
tier 2
Chaos
tower.
Thresh wasn't there either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Katachi actually gonna get the tier 2 bot tower in exchange for that tier 1 top tower. That's actually a better trade for Diamond Win if you exclude the number of kills that were given over to TRZ. Now Leroy a little bit in enemy territory here, but Chaos Thresh is by himself, can't really go for anything here.
Yeah, in that last fight, it looks to me like TRZ needs to be more careful about walking into the Vigar stun.
Yeah, Event Horizon was used to
there is a delay on it. If you are really focused and paying attention, you can avoid it. It's more of a zoning tool, honestly. Like, because sometimes it is hard to land it. You know?
Yeah.
But they walked it. 2 of them got stunned by it there, and they were just stuck under the tower. And they both got taken out. Otherwise, that dive would have gone much more smoothly, and they probably would have been able to capitalize on the kills that they got there much harder.
Event Horizon is going to stun up Oblivious and Clutch here. He actually takes out most of his health before it comes out of the stun. Oblivious going to go down to Katachi as well. Here comes the culling out. Intense going to just sidestep it. He's going to throw out an Event Horizon. It does stun up Master Bacon in the brush, and they throw us on the ward so that Katachi can auto-attack him to death. Katachi now picking up 3 kills right off the bat. Give himself the positive record, and they're going to use this 3-man advantage to push down the bottom lane. TRZ Leroy doing his best to push in that mid lane in the meantime, and OTC additionally pushing in the top lane. This is a fight on 3 fronts, and on 2 of those 3 fronts, Diamond Win is winning. Leroy the only one who can really deal with the Unreal Obama in the mid lane, and he actually gets the kill, just straight up underestimating the damage coming into that rise. Here comes Cosmic Radiance, is gonna keep them alive as they kill off Arkansia. TRZ sort of falling apart now, going for these plays by themselves. Leroy comes out to try and fight off Chaos Thresh. He forces the flash away from that Dazzle. Event Horizon keeps them out of there, and the Wind Wall comes out, not able to fight off anything more. And Thresh is actually going to get destroyed by Leroy once again. Primordial Burst comes out, and Leroy picks up, Intense picks up the kill on Leroy in response. Oblivious coming out to try and save this tower as long as he can, but he's stuck in the Event Horizon now. Throws down shields onto himself. Katachi going to have to be exhausted here. And he actually gets the tower before he gets out, and Event Horizon comes out. Master Bacon throws down the culling onto Intense, who is going to take it to the face and just back away. Now Katachi is invis, but he moved under the tower a little bit there. Arkansia is going to be stunned up by Event Horizon again, takes out about 70% of his HP. And now here goes OTC, he moves forward, he gnars 2 of them into the wall. Master Bacon comes out with a Summoner Heal, flashes forward and away. Master Bacon going to get taken down by a Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike from the Unreal Obama.
This game so far has basically been won by the Spire.
Intense throwing down the Event Horizons constantly. 30% CDR on that Vigar already. I wonder if he has any in runes. I haven't checked that. But here comes the Ghost coming out of TRZ Leroy. He's going to try and throw down damage onto Intense. Clutch is coming into the backline. He does not get the knockup, however. He gets kicked away. And there's the Flash Dazzle from Chaos Thresh to pick up the kill onto Clutch. Exhaust goes down into Leroy, and he is going to be taken out now. Katachi now godlike, 7-3 and 7. It makes me eat my words when I said he was struggling, but here comes Master Bacon. He does shut him down. Master Bacon moving forward aggressively. OTC gets the shield, and there's the Glacial Fissure to knock him out of the hop. Event Horizon goes down onto Arkansia, who loses about 70% of his HP. Master Bacon continuing to move forward aggressively. Intense turns around, says, "Come here, I want to throw my Q at you." Keeps on throwing down to the Event Horizon, 8-2 and 9 now. He throws an Event Horizon, interrupts Relentless Pursuit, but the Unbreakable is going to block away that Q damage. The Unreal Obama moves forward, and they actually pick off Oblivious with the help of that Dazzle. And now they're backing away. Clutch wants to make something happen here, but I don't think that he's going to be able to.
TRZ really needs to not get hit by this. Alright,
the Event Horizon is going to stun up Clutch, and he actually goes down to the Primordial Burst as well!
Really need to dodge this stun.
And Intense with the surprise Vigar pick, actually pulling out quite a bit here. OTC jumps out of the pit. Uses that Frozen Mallet to try and chase down Arkansia, who flashes away, but he is going to go down to that Hyper Proc, and Leroy thinks he can fight off OTC, but he gets stunned up by Event Horizon, gnarred into the wall. Intense now on a rampage. And the Event Horizons are just absolutely destroying TRZ. Intense doing absolute work for Diamond Win. They're moving towards the Baron now. It is going to be started up. OTC, however, is pretty low. The Chaos Thresh going to be the one to tank it, but he's just a support who hasn't used a lot of the gold. Event Horizon goes down around the Baron just for style points. I don't know. They're going to go ahead and take it out. They don't even need Katachi here for this one because the members of TRZ could not contest this regardless. Baron going to be secured on the side of Diamond Win.
Yeah, it seems to me like right now this game has been mostly decided by I think just Yasuo is really a much weaker pick now.
Yeah, he's just been completely ineffective. He's only got 1 assist to his name despite TPing to try and help his team.
Yeah, I mean he used to have
and he can't even
so much kill pressure early game, and now that's a big chunk of it is just gone.
Yeah. And the thing is, it doesn't even hurt, like, the Frozen Mallet nerfs, or changes, rather, they don't hurt Gnar necessarily, they just reduce his, kill pressure, but, you know, as an R, you still want those tank stats.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't hurt you as much. The Arkansia gonna go aggressively onto the Unreal Obama, throws out collateral damage, takes him down to about 30% HP. Leroy gonna try and take away his blue buff. They are gonna be spotted by here. He actually takes away the blue buff as well, but the Cosmic Radiance as well as the Event Horizon go out to keep Intense alive. And now Oblivious is going to get taken out by Primordial Burst. OTC now coming forward. He misses the Gnar, but it doesn't matter. He's so tanky. Herald, or a Master of Bacon, not able to make anything happen here. And now Katachi and the Unreal Obama prepping this minion wave. Event Horizon goes out, does not stun up anyone for once. And now members of TRZ just are about to await their inevitable fate. KS Thresh.
Look at that. That's what I'm talking
about. Event Horizon stuns up and kills off Master of Bacon. Intense now dominating 12-2 and 10.
We've just watched everybody on TRZ walking into these.
Yeah, now Leroy moving forward. He's gonna get forced away. Dazzle stuns up Oblivious, who's now still under the Event Horizon. KS Thresh moving forward a little bit here. It doesn't matter, however. Clutch goes down immediately. And Katachi's gonna get stunned up here. Actually just killed off by collateral damage that time. But they do get the dive, and they do make it out. Intense is finally gonna go down. No, he's not! Event Horizon keeps him alive! And Oblivious sacrifices himself for nothing, and Diamond Win easily pick up the win. With that win, Diamond Win secure their place in the finals, going up against whoever wins between Landsnake and Retribution. We'll go ahead and pull ourselves into post-game lobby just to look at some stats, which we can do now since we were watching that game live.
Exactly, yeah. Alright, so, I mean, on the side of TRZ, most of their damage coming out of
their Rise.
Yeah, out
Pretty
of the Rise.
expected. That Yasuo pick just completely ineffective to shut down completely. Did not get to challenge or face or even threaten the Gnar in this matchup.
Clearly, those nerfs were fairly hefty. He was, even after the ults, struggling to have kill pressure on Mini Gnar.
Yeah.
Just lacking a lot of damage that he used to have.
Yeah. Most of the damage coming out from the Rise, and actually from the Graves as well. Graves being a very damage-oriented jungler.
I mean, the game looked very close in the early game. In some of the early mid-game. But as the game progressed, the Intense's Event Horizons were just bringing the game farther and farther. I'd just leave it on display if it's not going.
Sorry about that. But on the side of Diamond Win, Intense on the Vigar pick, just absolutely destroying everything.
15K,
14, 2, and 12.
15k more damage than the second highest damages from Rise and Twitch.
Yeah. Just those Event Horizons,
definitely,
absolutely.
The game, I mean, that's really what decided the game. Yasuo being, it looks like a weaker pick right now, and Intense going off.
I'm not entirely sure why he went for it. He was building towards more tank stats at the end of the game.
He was
building
behind,
the Randuins.
I think he was just...
Well, yeah, but he was building. I mean, a Yasuo can't threaten anyone without any damage. There's no point to be building tank, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. It's...
Either way, just, disappointing success coming out of the Yasuo pick. We are going to be taking a short intermission before we go towards the next game, which will be a replay coming out between Landsnake and Retribution. We'll see you in just a few minutes.